up, R&B fam? I'm Bianca.
And I'm Royce.
And today we have some not so fun news because we're going to talk about COVID.
And how we got it.
Twice.
Yep.
While pregnant.
Crazy.
The scariest time you could possibly get COVID. So we just want to share our experience with you so you can know maybe what to expect. Maybe you're realizing similar symptoms. Maybe you're also pregnant and freaking out. Maybe I can just give you some peace of mind now that I've gone through it kind of twice now. But before we get started, this video is not to be about like COVID conspiracies or political
We ain't
preference.
talking about no politics, nothing, don't matter, don't care, I don't want to hear it. We just talking about our experiences.
It's just us and what we went through. So, you know, we believe COVID is real because we've got it. But in the comments below, we don't want this to be a pro-vax, anti-vax, political, it's just us sharing our experience. So hopefully you can keep things tame in the comments.
But we know you won't.
We tried.
But if you are new here, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 50K subs, so that would be awesome. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at RMBFam.
All right, now let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's do it.
We dodged it since 2020. We were on super strict quarantine, didn't leave the house, didn't go to the grocery store. Everything was delivered, wiped down everything. Grocery store.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, Jay.
Yeah. Ironic you chimed in on that word. If you hear our toddler chime in, he's in the background. But I finally got us. And I actually got it on New Year's Eve, so 2021, bringing in 2022, by staying home. I went to my parents' house and got it there, even though it was just our immediate family. So I basically should have went to the club and could have turned up if I wanted to get it. You want to get on the bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it.
We have a special guest. So yeah, I was just crying because I was just more scared for the baby. Like, it's one thing to have it. It's nothing to have it while you're growing a whole human in your belly. Say hi.
Hi.
Say, my name is Jalen.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
So I was just really scared, like,
Cheese.
Cheese. It's a video, Jay. We don't have to say cheese. We can just act or run away. Yep.
Okay. Sorry guys, this is going to be a video.
So I was left with having to take care of both Jalen and Bianca, both who I would say are pretty high maintenance. So that was tough. I had to make sure she was taken care of, had all her fluids, drank all her water, had all her vitamins, everything.
And you can see that because I actually vlogged my whole first COVID experience, but the reason I didn't post it yet is because we didn't announce being pregnant at that time because it was early. It was a little too early to announce it. So my main concerns were about having COVID while pregnant. But now, fast forward to now, it is currently May 2022, and we are actually in the process of hopefully finding and buying a house. So I was like, you know what, we need to start saving some money. I spent a lot of money on Instacart, on DoorDash. Let me actually go to the grocery store and buy my own groceries. Grocery store.
He remembers that.
And buy some food and actually bring it home. And I was like, Jalen is almost 2.5 years old. He's never even gone inside of a grocery store. He's been inside of a Target like once or twice. So I'm like, he's going to love all the fruit and food everywhere. It's going to be like Disneyland because you're a quarantine kid and don't know much. So I thought he'd have a great time. I put him in the little cart. And then as I put him in there, I was like, they don't have any wipes there. I was like, I probably should have wiped it down. I wasn't in my car. So I kind of was just like getting these like negative vibes. But we go through the grocery store. Then the next day, he's a little sluggish. And then we checked his temperature and he had a fever. He was just really hot. He was hotter on his temples and his forehead. But it was getting up to like 100.
So at first we were thinking the same thing, like this will just be a quick little cold or something like that. Side note, it's funny how like we just always pass off things as colds when deep down we probably know it's COVID.
We know we're in a pandemic.
We just don't want to admit it. But the next day, unfortunately, he was still sluggish, even more so, but he was super cuddly. So just from that previous experience, we remembered that meant that, okay, something's going on. Because he loves to give us hugs, but it's like, oh, I love you guys. Okay, back up. But he was literally
his fever came back. His whole body was super hot.
Yeah.
Did not really want to eat anything.
That was really hard. His appetite just got worse, and worse, where we literally could not feed him anything. He wasn't even taking like the fruit squeezies, because that's always like a for sure thing. So we were bribing him with his favorite food, and even that wasn't working. So that's how we knew whatever was going on was serious, and we should probably test.
Yeah. So it wasn't until the next day, which was a Sunday. We had plans to go look at this house, and we had family over the previous day. Had brought him around, the whole family. And we're like, well, let's just see if he'll even let us swab. And I didn't think we'd be able to get that cotton swab up his nose, but it actually tickled and he loved it. So he did that very well.
Weirdest thing.
Tickle nose time. Here we go.
Ready?
Oh, look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Woo! You tickled your nose. Here we go. And it came back positive. We were like,
those lines were thick.
way.
Solid.
He had a slightly runny nose, no cough or anything at that point. So then we test ourselves and we're negative. So we're like, okay, well, guess we have to cancel all plans. We're going to stay home and I'll take care of him. And then that's when the mom guilt like really, really sunk in, because I just felt like it was all my fault. Why did I take him out the house? Why did I take him to the grocery store? Like, that's the only place he really went. So I just felt horrible. Like, I gave my baby COVID and it just started crying again. And then, so that was just bad. But, at the same time, it's like, we can't, like, hide forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I went to the grocery store. I didn't take him to Coachella.
Yeah.
So, that it took me a while to, like, not blame myself. I understand that COVID's, like, in the air. It's kind of, hard. But it was just weird that I didn't get it. And maybe because I had it before, my body's doing better at fighting it off. I'm also vaccinated and our baby isn't. But he was holding onto the car and he always has his fingers in his mouth. So who knows what he touched that he might have literally inserted into his mouth. I don't know. So that was that.
Yeah. So then at that point we were making sure he was taking medicine. And we would do that every 4 hours. Medicine.
And he loves medicine.
He loves medicine.
The Highlands brand.
And cookies.
And cookies. To all the parents, try the brand Highlands. He loved it. Like, literally wouldn't eat any fruit or squeezies, nothing, but he would always be okay with medicine. It was so weird.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were strict on making sure he got that every 4 hours, even when he was sleeping. And so when I knew it was bad for me this time around, I think it was about 4 a.m. when I got up to give him his medicine. And when my alarm went off and I raised my body like this, it felt like 1,000 tons were just on top of my chest, where I literally almost could not lift my body. And that's when I was like, something's not right. And as I was getting out of the bed, I was just like, yep, I got it. I got COVID. This is horrible. And my body just started like aching uncontrollably. And it was just it was the worst feeling I've ever felt, especially while being sick. And just like feeling all that like internally was wild. So
you took a test.
So then I took a test, and lo and behold, it came out positive. And those body aches just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse throughout the day. And then...
and I just slept in the bed with him and gave him a kiss goodnight. So I was like, well, I should test again.
Yeah.
And I was still negative.
Still negative. And so now, I think we both looked at each other and put the pieces together and like, well, he has COVID, but then you also have COVID. So...
You don't get to quarantine
you
like
don't
I
get
did.
To and I was,
now, I get to quarantine again away from y'all, and you got to keep watching the baby.
And I was like, why? So Bianca kept her distance. She would still help out where she could, make sure we had our fluids, drinking, we were eating and things like that. But I was still the one close with Jalen, changing his diapers, everything. And I tell you, Jalen's already a big kid for being 2.
About 30, maybe 4 pounds.
Yeah. And every time I would lift him to go change him, it just kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier. To the point, like, in my head, I was like, man, you might need to be potty trained today. We might need to speed this up because I can no longer lift you. Yeah. That's how bad it was getting.
So his, like, day one or, like, the next day was, like, really, really bad.
Yes.
And then we did find out that you can call, like, this COVID hotline, and there's actually, like, medicine for COVID now. But Royce has asthma, so because he has pre-existing conditions, he actually qualified, so we got 5 days of medicine for free.
But that, I think, was a big help because I got on that as soon as possible, and it's you pretty much, you take the medicine in the morning, and then at night, and then I had my inhaler, which helped with my coughing and things like that. And because I feel like maybe because of that, I was able to get over the aches really quick. So that first night going into the second day, was the worst. It was just the absolute worst feeling ever. And you could attest to this, like literally got to the point where I would be sitting down, I'm just like rocking like this, just holding my body because it was just hurting. It's like
he had a fever of like, didn't you say it got up to like 104 or something?
Yeah, I got up to like 104.
But he was freezing.
Yeah, I was freezing.
And so the heater was on. I was like, why is it 80 degrees in here?
It's like, because I'm so cold. It was bad. It was bad. But thankfully, the next day that went away pretty quickly. So the aches were gone, but I still was just completely weak. Like I barely could lift anything.
So at that point I realized I can no longer quarantine away from because Royce is dying and my baby's not eating, so I can't just be up here. We had our K95 masks on. I bought a little shield. I was like double masked, trying to take care of them. And I was still good, still had no symptoms. If anything, like in the morning my throat would be a little scratchy. I'd be like, oh no. It got me. But then it kind of go away. So I was just treating myself like I had had it. So I was drinking like ginger tea. We had a lot of chicken noodle soup, orange juice, zinc, elderberry, all the things. And then after like a full day of just being around them, and then I slept on the couch so Royce could have a day of quarantine. Then I think I sniffled. Something still very light. So I took another test and then mine said positive. I was like, ugh!
And I was like, the family's back together, baby.
Well, been fun. But I'm gonna get my baby! Oh, infection. Sorry. We are family.
I'm so sorry. Jalen, get over here.
It feels so good.
Jalen.
We all can sleep in the same bed now.
COVID family.
COVID family.
This is not good.
Not good.
It's not good.
So it was bittersweet because then we got to hug again and kiss, and like Jalen loves to cuddle. We have this thing called Movies with Mama, and we just watch movies together and we cuddle on the couch, and I didn't have that, so like obviously I didn't want to get it again. I didn't want this baby to have to go through this again, but I was happy to hold Jalen again and cuddle again. So it was a bittersweet moment. I was told to do gold Listerine.
It's a party.
Bottle service.
It's a party.
This is the one.
That's right, y'all.
So we've been told to
I hate it.
gargle with this.
This is that grown-up mouthwash that has none of the good things that would make you want to wash your mouth.
Yeah.
This is just straight, let me just kill everything.
But I feel like it's killing everything in my mouth and my
it's
throat.
It's killing your mouth. It's horrible.
So I mean, I'm not a doctor, so take this information with what you want. I'm just telling you what I did.
After that, I'm getting the bubblegum flavor mouthwash.
Bubblegum, ugh. I don't know if that's any better. So we just stayed in quarantine, and now today is technically day 12 for Jalen. Day what for you?
So it's day 8 for me, because I think yesterday would have been day 7.
I think I'm on like day 6. So now all of our clocks and schedules are all off. So we're like, when are we supposed to test? So we all tested this morning. And Jalen's test has the faintest of lines. So Jalen, technically right now, his test still says positive. Oh no.
And then mine also still had a very, very faint line.
Very
like it was
faint.
barely there, but it's like, I could still see
More
it.
faint than Jalen's.
More faint, yes.
And
But it
then
was
mine
there.
was negative. I don't know. Maybe my body's fighting it because maybe I had it before, so it's doing a better job at like, my antibodies are a little more revved up than Jalen and Royce.
Revved up, huh?
That's not the right word.
I don't know why that sounded funny.
So as of right now, I'm negative, he's positive. Should I be around him? I don't know. Should I still wear a mask? I don't know. Can I get it again? I don't know. The rules change daily, but I've been like all up around the last couple of days.
Important thing is we're here, we're alive, we're all feeling better. And I think the biggest thing from both experiences, at least for me, is, the pain of us not being able to be that unit and being together. That was really hard both times. And like you were saying, I think that was kind of like almost the relief of having COVID, even though it's still bad and you shouldn't get it. Still being able to be together was just the importance of family. And I think that's what hit me the hardest when it separated us.
It did. I don't know if that like immunity period of like 90 days is like real or not, but I'm gonna take it and hopefully it's true. Hopefully our bodies are gonna be stronger and hopefully this COVID thing will come to an end. Like, it's 2022. How are we still talking about this?
And it was literally during like just another tick of like rise in cases. It's like there are more cases.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
Don't let your guard down.
Don't let your guard down.
Can't let your guard down.
Because 2 years later, I thought we made it out.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Everyone that thought they were invincible in 2020, 2021 are getting it now.
Yep.
So I just wanted to put out this video personally just to help any other moms out there, expecting moms that are currently pregnant with COVID and are like freaking out. I know how you feel. It's very scary because we can't see what's going on in there. We don't really know how it affects newborns because it's a newish thing, so there's not too much studies on it. But from current research, our baby is protected by a lot of placenta and other things in there. I have 2 ultrasounds coming up very soon, and so far everything looks good. So hopefully we just get past this. Maybe it'll give the baby some antibodies when he comes out as well. We've just been praying on it, and we're just faithful that God got us through this, and we're going to continue to get through this. So stay strong. Don't worry. Ask your doctor what to do. Take their advice and protect your families as much as you can. So if you found this video informative in any way, or you've been curious because you've been checking up on us on Instagram, thank you so much for that. I want to keep things real with y'all. Life isn't always just sunshines and rainbows. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We are trying to get to 50K here on YouTube, so make sure you join our R&B fam. You also can follow us on Instagram at R&B fam as well. And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.